Well, producers are often looking for guidance when navigating the ag land market. One element to keep in mind is the unique tax issues that can arise when buying farmland with a growing crop. It has to do with allocating the purchase price and the timing of deductions. As always, our good friend Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now to break this down for us. So a growing crop, that's what we're talking about. So what are some of the main tax code requirements in this process?
Well, Suzanne, good to be with you today. When there's a growing crop involved, it can get tricky. In fact, I think it was Kenny Rogers years ago that wrote a song about this when Lucille left him with a growing crop in the field. But the code requires that you allocate the purchase price between crops and land based on their relative fair market values. And that's the key point.
I love, by the way, that you sourced Kenny Rogers for that. I love it. How does one go about the deduction process? Talk about what farmers, producers need to keep in mind here.
Well, always remember that you cannot deduct the cost of the portion of the land purchase that you allocate to the growing crop. Now, the IRS hasn't really been crystal clear on how to handle those costs, but I think the best approach is to capitalize those costs into the crop and then deduct them when the income from the crop is reported or fed to livestock, whatever you do. And that may be in a year other than the year in which the crop is sold.
Other specific approaches that can lead to maybe a better tax result?
Well, I think there's one approach to consider might be that will get you a better tax result would be to lease the land before the purchase. That way you incur the planting costs and you can deduct them rather than the landlord, seller, the person that's going to sell the farmland to you.
Wow, so much to keep in mind here. Roger, before I let you go, overall, what would you say when it comes to something like this? What do farmers need to know?
Well, if you're buying farmland that has a growing crop on it, the tax issues can get complicated with this. So make sure you talk to your farm tax advisor before you purchase the land so that you make sure that you get the best tax result upon your eventual purchase that you ultimately can.
Roger, before I let you go, where can people go? Because sometimes you break this down for people. You have this on your site?
I do. Yeah, washburnlaw.edu/Walter. And I also share that with RFD-TV.
I love it. Also, I'm going to go listen to some Kenny Rogers now. Thank you so much. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law. Appreciate you being here.